Hello, and how is it going, Elder Scrolls Nation? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest Bethesda Game Studios news. The little bit of news that we are going to be talking about today is pretty freaking awesome actually, at least in my opinion, as it actually could finally be the last straw needed to push for a much needed change in the gaming industry. As you may know, the gaming community has been asking for cross-platform online play for quite a while now, at least as far back as the PS3 and the Xbox 360. The TLDR of this situation is as follows. While there were several attempts to make cross-platform online play a reality in the past, things never actually made it past the discussion stage, and that happens to be the largest part of the problem here. The major three, meaning Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, would all have to sit down and agree on how this would all work, not only for technical reasons, but likely for several random bureaucratic ones as well. The topic of cross-platform play was brought back up within this generation of console technology, and Microsoft and Nintendo actually agreed to be the first to allow cross-platform online play between their two consoles, meaning somebody on the Xbox One and a Nintendo Switch could play Fortnite or Minecraft or insert game name here online together, despite being on different consoles. This doesn't force the consumer into buying a specific console or sometimes even a second one just to be able to play online with their friends. Now, Sony has refused to agree to cross-platform online play this generation, boo, to the point where they're not only pissing off the gaming community, including myself, but at this point, major game developers are calling Sony out as well. Sony's excuse for not allowing cross-platform play is pretty fucking stupid, to be honest. Basically, they state that in their contract with PlayStation Online users, Sony works to protect and make the community a positive and decent place. By allowing cross-platform online play, Sony believes that this peaceful, controllable utopia of a community would be compromised and non-policeable. So basically, either Sony thinks the Microsoft, Nintendo, and PC communities are far more hostile and toxic than their own, or they would rather just continue to have some sort of totalitarian control over their own online community to ensure it's a peaceful place or whatever bullshit they're saying. This kinda reminds me of a recent indie game I've played. Now, I know some people are gonna say that Sony is doing this to protect themselves because they're at the top of the sales charts in terms of consoles and they have some really awesome exclusives, but in my opinion, allowing cross-platform online play would not harm this. Their exclusives would still remain exclusive to them and people would still have to buy the PS4 or the PS5 or whatever to have access to these beautiful games, and at the same time, if they do what they're doing now, they will still remain at the top of the console charts unless Microsoft or Nintendo pull something awesome out of their hats. So while it may affect sales a little bit, I don't think cross-platform play would do anything to harm Sony in any way. In fact, it would help them get out of this PR debacle they found themselves in. Now, this is where it gets awesome. As I mentioned earlier, major gaming developers are actually getting annoyed by Sony as well, and in fact, the most recent company to publicly state their annoyance in a pretty major way is Bethesda Softworks themselves. In a recent statement from Bethesda Softworks, they called Sony out pretty hard by saying that Sony is disrupting the gaming industry. Their refusal to cooperate with cross-platform play is actually damaging online gaming as a whole and definitely damaging Bethesda's online communities as well. Gamers who want to play online games together like Fortnite, or in this case specifically Elder Scrolls Legends, are alienated from the rest of the game's community on the PlayStation Network because of their refusal to be part of the greater community amongst all online platforms via cross-platform online play. Meaning people who have Fortnite on the PS4 or the PS5 or whatever it's gonna be can't play with their friends on the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, the PC, or Nintendo. They can only play with people who have the PS4 or the PS5. Bethesda states that if Sony doesn't change their ways soon, that they will simply skip over publishing games on the PS4 and the PS5 when it comes to their online games. Which games they mean by this exactly isn't for sure, but we do know so far that the Elder Scrolls Legends is definitely one of them. Now, one thing to keep in mind is if Bethesda Softworks takes this even further by not publishing games like Fallout 76 or Starfield on the PS4 or the PS5, or imagine not publishing Elder Scrolls 6 on the PlayStation, oh jeez, that would be an even bigger blow to Sony in a situation that is already pretty bad for them, and would be a pretty crazy situation to be honest. But as it stands even right now, Bethesda's current statement alone is enough to put Sony in hot water. Eyes have already been on Sony for a while now because of this issue, but with a major player like Bethesda threatening to not publish games on your platform anymore, I can guarantee Sony is already giving this situation some serious thought. Now, as always, I want to know what you think about all of this in the comments below. What do you think of cross-platform play? What do you think of Sony's refusal to listen to the fan base? What do you think about Bethesda's statement? Does any of this matter to you? Let me know in the comments below, and if your comment wins the internet, I may feature it in a future video. Be sure to subscribe, or make sure that you are still subscribed if you like my content and if you want to stay in the know when it comes to gaming news, and follow me on Twitter for the latest memes and random shit about me. Now I say make sure you're still subscribed because both on YouTube and now recently Twitter, people have been getting unsubscribed without their permission from my channel and other people, so just go ahead and check to make sure you're still subscribed if you want to be. Also check out my Twitch channel where I stream almost daily, and if you want to have your hand in providing future content and defending the channel, then consider subscribing to me on Patreon, where you can earn unique and awesome rewards and where I would love you forever. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when Bethesda threatens the sun in order to broadcast an image of Todd Howard at all times.
Bye, have a great time.